Thanks for joining us on the program, everyone. After months of political turmoil, Rivers State may finally be seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Governor Fubara has publicly declared that his commitment to peace is not a sign of weakness, but a necessary step to safeguard the interest of the state. From Port Harcourt to Abuja, signs of reconciliation between the governor and his estranged political godfather, Wike, are beginning to emerge. The governor's attendance at the burial of Mr. Wike's uncle, his outreach to supporters, and his pledge to prioritize stability underscore a new phase in Rivers politics, one defined less by confrontation and more by compromise.
I did say that there is no price that is too big to pay for peace. I meant it, and I said ready to follow it to the end. Nobody can take away the role by overplayed. That's the truth. And if today there is need for us to settle, please, anyone who genuinely believes in me should understand that it is the right thing to do. Look at the projects that we initiated. Big roads have been abandoned. Look at other things that we initiated. Without this crisis, by now I know where we have been. We know the progress we have recorded. We know areas that would have been developed in these things better than what it is today. So there is need for this peace.
Yet behind these truths are lingering questions and concerns about a rumored one-term agreement by Governor Fubara and speculations that he and Wike may nominate all incoming local government chairmen. Also under scrutiny is the state's proposed 1.48 trillion naira budget, with lawmakers at the National Assembly now querying allocations like 24 billion naira for CCTV, 30 billion naira for gunboats, and spending on federal projects without reimbursement agreements. As calls grow louder for an end to the emergency rule and a full return to democratic governance in Rivers, where does this leave politicians who were fiercely loyal to Governor Fubara at the peak of the crisis? Let's bring in Mervyn Yobana, former caretaker chairman at Kana local government, one of Governor Fubara's fierce supporters and ally during the crisis, but now seemingly aligned with President Tinubu's peace initiative. Mr. Yobana, thanks for joining us. You were one of the loudest voices backing Governor Fubara. We've had a couple of conversations in that regard on this show during the height of the political standoff. But recently, you've appeared to embrace President Tinubu's reconciliation efforts. What changed? What prompted your apparent shift in position?
Well, thank you very much for having me, and good evening, viewers. It will interest you to note that when the president declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, all of us, we were against it because we did not understand why democratic governance would be set aside for a military appointee to pretend over the governance in Rivers State. But it was later we got to understand that the president actually intervened to stop the impeachment of the governor and to ensure that the political actors from the legislative arm of government, the executive arm of government, and the FCT minister who happens to be our national leader in the state to reconcile properly. So when we got to understand this whole thing, that is why we went ahead to commend the president for this move, because actually it was degenerating to lawlessness. Remember that the governor tried several times to present the budget that the assembly requested to the assembly, but he was shut out of the assembly complex, the temporary structure they were using. So that is why you see we are commending the president. And this latest move that the president was able to unite most of the political key actors from the legislative arm and the executive arm of government together to agree to this peace agreement. I want to commend the president for that. I also want to commend the FCT minister for looking at it that if you have a son and you feel that he has offended you, you will have the fortitude or the grace to forgive and move on. And this is what he has done. He has shown that he's a fatherly figure by accommodating everybody back and ensure that we get back on this track. Because, like you mentioned in your opening statements about the National Assembly questioning some line objects in the budget, you can understand that the sole administrator that was brought to Rivers State, he is not from Rivers State, number one. Number two, he did not contest. He did not tell the people of Rivers State that this is what I'm going to do to you or for you. So he doesn't owe them anything. He is just like a supervisor, pretending over something he doesn't understand. And that is why governance has been grinded to a halt in Rivers State. Look at all the projects that the Similayo Fubara started. As we speak today, all those projects are halted. Why? There's no clear supervision. There's no clear administration in the state. So this is why all of us are calling on Mr. President in his magnanimity to shorten the time of this state of emergency declared, more especially now that all the political actors have come together to agree on this peace pact. And the governor went further after that meeting to come back to us who are his supporters to tell us clearly that we should not do anything that will derail this process. That he has given up everything, that we should look up to him for good governance, like what he promised the Rivers people, and anything political, we should look up to the FCT minister, and that we should respect him, and we should not derogate any of them, and we should thank Mr. President for this. And I think that this line of thought and action will bring lasting peace and sustainable development to the state, like we had in the past. So this is why you say maybe. Yeah.
You know what they say, that politicians are amazing humans. I mean, your disposition, the way and manner you're addressing this issue is a sharp contrast from, the kind of animated conversations we've had in the past. And it looks good on the outside, especially now that, as you have said, there is need for the return to democracy. Some would say, you know what, anything for the cameras just to get the governor back. But I'd like us to frankly talk about the details of this peace deal, because I'm sure you are aware of growing concerns that Governor Fubara may have agreed to serve only one term and also allow the minister nominate all local government chairmen. Are these terms acceptable to you if they are true, and to the many supporters who stood by Mr. Governor through this crisis?
Yeah, I want you to understand something about River State politics. The structure that brought Governor Fubara into office is the same structure. I was the director NGO for his campaign council at that time. The Honorable Minister of FCT was the chairman of the campaign council in the state. So we all played our different roles, and he was in charge, and he piloted this whole program. So the issues of the Honorable Minister to nominate all the local government chairmen, the governor to do a single term, is not what was definitely agreed. And even if that was agreed, there is a procedure to that. The governor has told us, even before the peace pact, he told us clearly that he is not interested in anything, be it local government, be in political positions. He's not interested. In fact, I can tell you clearly that the governor would have resigned if not for the teaming supporters and because of the Rivers people that he owes a duty, because they voted him to run for one tenure. So when he finishes, and if he finishes well, the onus lies on Rivers people, and it lies on the other political actors and the structure that brought him earlier. And if the governor is even interested, because he's told us clearly that he's not interested. So the issues of what happens tomorrow, what happens next tomorrow, is neither here nor there. People might be aligning or realigning or thinking that, yes, one man can bring everybody. But I know the minister. He gives these things back to the local government to decide, the leaders within this local government to decide. And what he has told us is that everybody, no matter the faction, those supporting him, those supporting Fubara, those supporting any other person, and the masses, as long as you're from a local government, you're from a constituency, you fall back to your constituency, and you people will discuss. And who knows, now that we have pluralities of parties, We have the APC, the PDP. We don't know where to go. So people will definitely stick to one place or that. There are those who have political ambition. So you cannot stop people from carrying out or pursuing their ambition.
Indeed.
But one thing is clear.
Yes.
One thing is clear, that the governor has accepted this peace pact full hook, line, and sinker, and he has told us clearly that we should not try anything that will derail that process.
So with this emerging arrangement, you're not worried that loyalists like yourself may now be politically sidelined? Does this new power sharing formula shut the door on your hopes of serving under this government?
No, at all. It doesn't. The thing is that Fubara is somebody that is endearable to us. He's a humble, peace-loving person. That's kind of his character endears you to him. You just like him, and that is what happened. I was now with the PDP at the time Fubara was running for election. I was in the APC. I actually contested for the House of Representatives on the platform of APC, the primaries, but because of the character of Fubara, I decided to join in his campaign, and it was the Honorable Minister of FCT that appointed me to head the NGO directorate for the campaign. So I am not bothered about serving in a cabinet or not. That is not the objective of the support for the governor. The objective of the support for the governor is because the health system had improved, rapid infrastructure development had improved, the River State has stopped borrowing money, and everything was working properly, including the educational sector, with the welfare of workers had also improved. And what he was doing, he was putting the people first. That was what endeared me to him, and that is why we are supporting him. The Minister for FCT also is a workaholic. We know him. When he was nominated as the Minister for FCT, I was one of the persons who were on national television saying that the president did the right thing, despite his party, because he's going to do a lot in the FCT. And today you can see what he's doing in the FCT. Nobody can say Minister Wike is not working. So these are the things. You follow people because of the character and who they are. Political aspirations or affiliations are secondary to the needs of the people. So what we are saying, will Fubara perform in the remaining terms of his tenure? The answer is yes. Had he performed before he was moved for office? The answer is yes. Is the sole administrator performing now? The answer is no. So these are the key issues.
Let's go on a short break, and we'll be right back with more. Stay with us, everyone. Mervyn Yobana, thank you for staying the course on the program. You've spoken recently about restoring democratic rule in Rivers. Precisely what is the expectation as to the reinstatement of the Fubara government?
Well, the expectation is very high in Rivers State and across the country. You know, military dictatorship is something that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is known for fighting vigorously, even when he was in the trenches. He fought it as an elected senator, he was against it, and he has refused to support it. What is happening now was an emergency measure, an intervention by the wisdom of Mr. President to forestall breakdown of law and order. You know that Rivers State is the hub of economic generation for the country, and that is why the president took the step he took. And now we understand that, and we agree with him. But I think if all the political actors have agreed to the peace pact, and there's no need for this, the legislative arm of government should be made to work in Rivers State to carry out the work of lawmaking for the people who elected them into office. And the executive should be allowed to go back to the office so that they can now implement the policies of government and go for the day-to-day running of governance in the states. This is what I expect from the president. And these expectations, it's not just me, it's across the state, across the country. So the president has 1 month order to go to what do I call it? To stop this whole state of emergency. Yes, and get the legislative arm of government and the executive arm of government back to work.
We've heard from the stakeholders, we've heard from the FCT minister, Mr. Governor himself, loyalists to him like yourself and quite a number of other political stakeholders. But we aren't hearing much from the people of Rivers. As someone from Kana local government area, what are your constituents really saying about this reconciliation? Do they feel betrayed? Are they hopeful or simply fatigued by the crisis?
Well, everybody's tired about the state of emergency. If you visit Port Harcourt, you ask your correspondents that are here, they will tell you that Port Harcourt is now very dirty. The Port Harcourt we used to know before that has a garden city status have lost that status. If you're driving to the airport, it's an eyesore. So I think that, and at the local government level, the day-to-day running of government, because government stays a responsibility of providing welfare and security of the people, for the people. But because most persons are just sole administrators, they only report to the person who appointed them in all the local governments. And this is not good for governance. I have been in the saddles, I know what it is. And today, as we speak, insecurity in some of this local government is at the peak as we speak today. So it doesn't show that the administrator came here to ensure that there's peace and there's tranquility and good governance will go on in the state. Rather, the opposite is the case as we speak today. So it is high time that the president do the needful, which all of us in Rivers State and across the country is asking him to do. Bring back the governor of the state and bring back the legislators to do their work.
One of these
peace process he wanted is now working.
One of these local government administrators that you've talked about was seen in a video beaten, harassed, and forced to resign. What does this say about the current level of political tolerance in Rivers State and where we are with the followers? Because we've heard what the leaders are saying, that we have reconciled, we are back together, we are willing to, push this forward. But what does this singular incident say about the state of compliance with their followers going forward?
Well, just like I was saying, you just reiterated what I was saying. Because you see, those persons now running the local governments, they are not elected, they were appointed. And they were appointed, maybe their nomination came from one person. Maybe somebody in their local government nominated them. And I also saw that thing on social media. I was appalled at that a local government chairman, or call him an administrator, will be treated in such dehumanizing manner. I think the security agents were supposed to dig deep into what happened and bring the perpetrators to justice to serve as a deterrent for others. That is something that we cannot accept. It doesn't matter what was the offense or whatever he did. They should be honorable to treat him very decent. But you see, if he was an elected local government chairman, for instance, you can't see such things. Maybe his godfather, who knows, or somebody who nominated him must have had some problems with him, or maybe he had problems with his people, who knows? But that is not to be treated. Nobody should be treated like that, no matter what happens. We have the law enforcement agencies, we have the law courts, so that you seek redress when you feel that you are aggrieved. And that is the kind of people we are in Rivers State. We are humble and peace-loving people. We accommodate strangers. We allow the place to be an economic hub, just like Lagos. In fact, there are only two states in this country when people want to come into Nigeria, they say, are you going to Lagos or are you going to Port Harcourt? These are things we hear. So, but today, Wike has come to Abuja and has made Abuja the third. So people now say, are you going to Abuja, you're going to Lagos, or you're going to Port Harcourt? So we need democracy institutions to be in place for the peace, well-being, and good running of governance in the state. Without that, you cannot take away all these skirmishes happen here and there, because you cannot hand over a local government to one individual and the person will just nominate somebody, and if the person misbehaves, he sends somebody to go. These are things that is giving the country a bad name, not just the state. So I don't know how that case went, and I don't know what steps the authorities have taken. But for me, it was appalling to look at such thing, and it's dehumanizing for anybody to be treated like that.
I hear you. But many people, quite a number of people are receiving this news of reconciliation with some form of caution, because it's not the first time we're seeing both of them coming together, and even the same Mr. President intervening. If you had the governor's ear today, which I suppose you do, and that of the FCT minister, what would you advise them to prioritize going forward? What should they do and not do not to have this peace process deteriorate?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, when I first heard about the reconciliation, they've had about 5 meetings before the last one we saw, was it Thursday, when they went to see the president? You know, they've had 5 meetings. And each time I see the governor, I always ask him, what is the context of this whole agreement you are reaching? What is the point? He now asked me a question. What is your interest, Mr. Marvin? I said, no, my interest is for the good governance of the state. He said, so be it. For him as a person, he doesn't need anything. All he needs is for him to keep to the promises that he has made to Rivers people and ensure that there's good governance, there is peace and sustainable development in Rivers State. And that is all he wanted. So when he came back this last time and told us they finally agreed, we also asked him, what are the terms of this agreement? He said clearly to us, anybody who has a political ambition should keep it away, because he didn't go to negotiate any political office for anybody. All he said that he wasn't interested in anything more than governance of the state, and that is it. So if we are supporting him genuinely, we should take this peace and pact that he has accepted to and do nothing to derail it. The governor is very sincere in this peace move. Before, when they wrote that agreement from the villa, that time we had that agreement, 8-point agreement, we vehemently opposed it from the beginning. And that is why it did not work. But this time around, there is no peace pact written, but the governor has told us clearly we should not expect anything extraordinary than good governance from him. And that is who he is, and that is what he wants to give to the state. And we should respect the Honorable Minister of the FCT, respect the Speaker and other legislative members of the State House of and other key actors in this whole political crisis. Now, he went further to say we should reconcile and work together with those persons who say they're in this faction or that faction. All of us should come together, local government by local government, and work for the progress of the state and forget about anything politics. He said it clearly. He didn't mince words. So I don't see anything that is at stake. So anybody who does not like that might as well join whatever you want to join, a party or a coalition or whatever. But for us, we have decided to support the governor and stand firm, because it's not about the governor, it's about me, Marvin Yobana.
All right.
What about if you see me today, I start wavering? What will you say about it tomorrow? So you have to make a decision and stand by it. And that's what we've done.
We have to go now, but there's a lot of political confusion in Rivers. You were in the PDP. You said you were in the APC. I think at some point you moved to the PDP and then to the APP. The governor, as we speak now, is with the PDP, but you know the challenges that the party is faced with. Do you think it's high time he decamped to the APC? Is that also part of the agreement he had with former Governor Wike?
Well, for me, I don't think I don't know. I was not informed if he discussed that with the FCT minister. But you should know that the FCT minister is a member of the People's Democratic Party as we speak. He has not joined the APC. So the governor is a member of the People's Democratic Party too. He has not joined the APC. So until that happens, I will not be able to speak for them, because I don't know what they want to do.
Well,
but for me,
which party do you belong to right now, Mr. Yobana?
I'm in the PDP as I speak to you.
Oh, you have left the APP?
I was not in APP.
Oh, you did not join the APP at the time?
APP.
Okay.
No, I did not.
Interesting. Good place to live in. Thank you so much for your contribution. We look forward to quite a number of improvements in the coming days, especially as to the peace pact between both individuals. We're also hoping to see how all of this will impact positively on the people of Rivers State. Mr. Yobana, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
And that's our show today, everyone. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.